Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video asks, who's going to be accountable in the Thai government for a 27 billion baht loss within the Thai economy? That's about $1 billion US, give or take, in terms of the present exchange rate. That being said, I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, "Relisting, quote, will cause 27 billion baht loss," unquote. Quoting directly, "The government's plan to put cannabis back on a list of illegal drugs will cause a 27 billion baht loss to the local cannabis industry," said Wisan Prasad, CEO of the Cannabis Medical Industrial Estate Association of Thailand. Quoting further, he said the move will reverse the previous government's policy on the drug by listing it as a narcotic again, adding it will affect many groups, especially entrepreneurs who have invested in the cannabis industry. Yeah, I mean, just the amount of investment, especially by quote unquote mom and pop operations, small scale entrepreneurs just trying to run their own business, is astounding. And quite honestly, it's been one of the great benefits of this policy shift here in Thailand. And I'm really sort of taken aback by how little the media seems to take this into account when they're reporting on these things, just how much of the economy has been affected by this. This seems to just go unnoticed, that a reversal, again, as we've discussed in other videos, where just some body without any emergency power, as we've discussed previously, is just unilaterally declaring a plant to be a narcotic, which I find very disconcerting, again, because this isn't Parliament doing it. We're not going through due legislative process. It's just a group of people is saying, oh, yeah, from one minute to the next, we get to say whether or not some plant's a narcotic. And as I said in prior videos, I mean, again, folks that are watching this, I've stated before, folks that are looking to directly invest into Thailand are looking at this issue, regardless of the underlying implications for cannabis, because, again, nobody really wants to invest in a place where they're going to be arbitrarily and capricious major policy changes to the legal system. Again, that makes investors uneasy. Meanwhile, the people that already have invested and detrimentally relied on the government's policies to date are going to have the rug pulled out from underneath them. And I don't think, again, that is fully fleshed out, if you will, by the media at this point. It seems to just be overlooked. And meanwhile, let me get into this further. Quoting further, Mr. Wisan said the reversal of marijuana's legal status will also affect domestic and overseas sales. Yeah, absolutely. And again, at a time and a place where Thailand has taken not only first mover advantage, but has massive comparative advantage in terms of this thing, just as a global cash crop. And again, what, we're going to reverse all of that? Why? What's the policy reason for that? And not something vague like, oh, we just want it illegal again, or, people are going crazy, or kids are dying, which has all been nonsensical. We've seen all of this hyperbole that's really amounted to nothing. 20 billion baht in expenses in the hospital sector. Where did that number come from? Quoting further, its medical uses and its status as one of the country's outstanding economic plants. Yeah, this is a cash crop of a level that we haven't seen since the Columbian Exchange in the age of exploration, where tobacco hit the European markets. I mean, this is a big deal. I can't stress this enough. Quoting further, authorities need to consider using the law to control cannabis in a way that allows it to continue to be used medically, he said. He suggested that regulations are needed instead of making cannabis illegal again. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what everybody's been advocating. Make some laws. Pass a law in Parliament. Again, the methodology that they claim to be able to use to name this as a narcotic, again, I find that logic specious and spurious at best, because, again, this was delisted under emergency powers during the invocation of the Communicable Diseases Act, which gave the Minister of Public Health an inordinate amount of emergency powers. Again, under that regime, this was delisted. Now they're trying to relist it without such authority. To my mind, this should be done in Parliament. This shouldn't just be done by a group of people who just say, well, because we say so, and because we heard a poll said oh, a lot of people don't like this. That's basically the logic at this point that I've last heard out of those who want to push back against this change in policy, if you will, is basically, well, we read a poll that said a lot of people don't like it. And as I brought up in prior videos, in fact, during COVID as well, a lot of this polling I find very dubious at best. What is it Teddy Roosevelt said? There are lies, damn lies, and statistics. Quoting further, Mr. Wheatson said the international community's stance on the drug is likely to become more progressive in the future. It's not likely, it's happening as currently. Quoting further, citing the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs 2020 vote on whether to remove cannabis from Schedule 4 of the 1961 Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs, in which the votes in favor beat votes against by a narrow margin of 27 to 25. So yeah, even at the UN level, they're moving in the direction Thailand has already been, in my opinion, rightfully on the forefront of. Quoting further, he said if the world no longer views marijuana as a narcotic, Thailand will lose many opportunities. Absolutely. That's my biggest problem here is we're rolling ourselves back from one of the biggest financial opportunities Thailand has ever seen. And meanwhile, the same government that says that they want to do this is also saying we're in an economic crisis and therefore need a digital wallet that'll create a bunch of national debt, which will re-liquidate the system, if you can even call it liquidate, because it's not actually money, but will re-liquidate the system two orders of magnitude more liquidity than already exists in the banking system. But the nation has to go into debt for that because of an economic crisis. Meanwhile, they say we're going to roll back something that's actually added billions of dollars into the Thai economy, and the rollback of which would cost about 27 billion baht to the economy. Explain to me how that makes any logical sense. Quoting further, Mr. Wheatson estimated Thailand's cannabis industry will suffer a 27 billion baht loss, consisting of a 7 billion baht loss incurred by cannabis farms and a 20 billion baht loss faced by cannabis shops nationwide. Yeah, you're shutting these people down. You're hamstringing these people. In a very real sense. They've detrimentally relied on this policy. They've invested time and money and sweat equity into their own businesses. And meanwhile, just some arbitrary and capricious politicians come along and say, yeah, we don't care. We're just overturning and upending all of that. What kind of policy making is that? Quoting further, he accused the government of trying to end the industry due to political reasons, saying the move will set back everything the industry has achieved over the past 4 years. Well, yeah, it will set back stuff. And yeah, I wouldn't even say it's political. I've brought this up before. Where's big alcohol in all this? Where's big pharma? Is this political, or are there inducements of another sort that are creating the impetus for this change in policy because of such a crisis? Again, I failed to see the crisis. We've done the videos on that. And then meanwhile, the same government out of the same mouth with the same voice, if you will, is saying, oh, we have economic problems and therefore we have to do all of these very, quite honestly, radical moves in changing our monetary system here in Thailand. But let's roll back something that's actually contributed serious capital to the Thai economy at a time when it needed it most. Yeah, let's get rid of that. But putting the nation in debt to the tune of 2 orders of magnitude more liquidity than actually exists in the banking system already, that's the plan. Not let's sell a product. Let's make something people want to buy. No. Let's go into debt. That's the idea. I'm sorry. Again, that's the policy thinking at this point. And who's going to be accountable? Who's going to be held accountable when all of this economic activity that's come about as a result of these policy changes in cannabis are rolled back and we see the economy begin to stagnate and decline as a result of this rollback?